Hello everyone and welcome to Canteen Cup. My name is Scott. Was out in the yard yesterday and continuing to clear and get our garden area ready. I took about another 10-foot swatch in the woods. I still have some cleanup to do. I'll probably come out here tomorrow and kind of clean things up and then move back some more. This is our brush pile that I've kind of added to, and then this is our bigger stuff that I was able to move with the tractor. I did cut down some larger trees, some about 5 to 8 inches in diameter. One of the good parts is as I move further away from the house, I can take down taller trees because they won't hit the house. That is a threat when you're taking down trees if you don't do it right and they fall on your house. Trees are heavy. Live trees are heavy. They're full of water and they're heavy. And if you've messed with live logs or just cut fresh logs, you'll realize that they are very heavy, from several hundred to several thousand pounds. And for some of these bigger trees, you're not just going to push them over. They're going to go whichever way they want to go, and if you don't calculate correctly the direction they're going to fall, well, you understand, I think. And so we are continuing to push back. Where I am is I am facing the back of the property, and I have quite a bit of level property, and my goal is to clear all the level parts, and then further to the back and then to either side the property slopes away. I'm kind of on a hilltop here, which I like. The water drains very well. We don't have a lot of ponding water. We don't have a lot of muck piles. So hopefully this year I'll get a lot of stuff cleared out, put away, lets more sunlight in, lets me grow more things. So that's it for this part. I do want to show you another project I'm working on today, and that is I have this Yamaha four-wheeler, and I bought it used, and I mean, it works great. It only had about 300 hours on it. I got it for a good price. It's not the best looking. The prior owners decided they wanted to paint it black, and I don't care. But it is a usable vehicle for us around here. But what I want to show you, and I'll go inside the workshop here, is when I bought it, let's see, it came with these lug nuts on it. Now these are not a hex head lug nut. They take a spline drive, and so when I got a flat, I wanted to change it out, so I bought a spline socket, which is supposed to work, but I'm not sure for whatever reason. If I put this in the spline, it feels like it's a solid fit if I put it in there. However, I cannot tighten or loosen these lug nuts, and so one of the things I did is I went and found some hex head lug nuts. It took me a little while to find them, but they're a 17 millimeter lug nut, and so one of the things I'm going to do today is get rid of these. And while they may be good for security purposes, if you get a flat tire, I cannot get those things off easily. So I'm going to use a socket and ruin these as I take them off, and then replace them with these. That's just some of the stuff that you have to deal with. It's day-to-day stuff. Not every day is a back-breaking day. Today it's do this, I gotta do some administrative stuff, and then tomorrow I'll be back on it. Alright, so I'm back again with a little bit of update. Whoever put these on the last time probably used an impact wrench, and they're on super tight. Now what's happening is I have to use a hex head socket to take these off, and because this lug nut is a spline drive, if you can kind of see this, it kind of gets jammed in the socket. So what I have to do is I have to loosen each one, and then I have to come here and I fit it inside another socket, and then I take my old standby, my 32-ounce ball peen, and give it a couple whacks, and off it comes. I know that was kind of loud, but I'm going to have to do that with each and every one. So I'll be glad when I finally get them all back to regular hex head 17mm socket size nuts. Alright, so a little addendum here. As you can see, I got them done. We went from a spline drive to a 17mm hex head, which is a fairly common size if you have a socket set. So since today's a nice day, I'm going to do a little more work on this. I've got these seats are a little tore up, so I'm going to take some Gorilla Tape, some duct tape to them, and get those fixed up. But while I'm here, and that is my old faithful 32-ounce ball peen hammer, which I've had for quite a number of years. And so, spinning around, while I'm here, while I'm talking about it, working on the homestead, it just takes effort. I'm not necessarily going to say work, but there's always things going on, if not big things, little things. And really what I want to add to this is, you see I had a struggle with these lug nuts, getting them off, getting the new ones on, getting ones that fit, that I can take on and off at will using tools I have on hand. And so my point is, when you're doing this sort of thing, when you're working your homestead, it's not all about the fun stuff. Sometimes you got to get the not so fun stuff, and part of that may be, do you have enough tools to do the job you need to do? A lot of us, I was a mechanic of one sort or another for most of my life, and I have a sufficient number of tools to get most things done, but I still occasionally have to go to the store to buy the odd tool. And if you are trying to lead the home style life, if you're trying to be self-sufficient, part of that is being able to fix your things. Now, if you have a four-wheeler, can you go out there right now and take the lug nuts off your tire and put it back on again? In my case, I found out I couldn't, but I was lucky in that I was able to find suitable replacements, and I was able to replace it while it's a nice, probably a 60-65 degree day and the sun is shining. I would have really hated to have to do this in about 35 degree weather when it's raining and cloudy and I'm miserable. So, some of what we do is just keeping up with the stuff we have and doing it, when the conditions are the best for us. Now, Can I always do work when it's 65 degrees out and sunny? No. But can I minimize that? Yes. And that's my point, is that, you know, when the sun is shining, you do the things that you need to do while the sun is shining, so you won't have to do it when it's 35 degrees and it's raining. Trust me, I've spent many a day in that type of weather, and that is probably about the most miserable weather you can be in. It's not cold enough to snow, and it's not warm enough to take a jacket off. But when you put a jacket on, you tend to overheat because it's that in-between temperature. And so while you're doing your preps, while you're planning your homestead, you know, make sure you have at least a fairly sufficient amount of tools to accomplish most of the tasks that you may have to do. Now, you know, do you have to have enough tools to replace and rebuild an engine? No. You know, some things are better left to the professionals, so to speak. However, to do a lot of the home repairs, you can get by. I think if you go to Lowe's now, Lowe's sells Craftsman tools, and you can buy their sets really, really cheap. Let me give you an example. I needed some big combination wrenches for my tractor, and so I went to Lowe's, and I was going to buy just the one size, or I was going to buy two sizes, and if I bought two wrenches by themselves, it was going to cost me about $60. I found out that I could buy, I believe it was 4 or 5 big wrenches for $73. When wrenches get big above an inch, they cost a lot of money. Well, I did a little more research, and I could buy a whole set of wrenches, like 10 or 15 of them, for $73. So prices of tools have really come down. And I suggest, if you don't have tools, go to Lowe's, look at some of their sets and watch their sales. Some of their stuff is you know, goes on sale for a pretty good price. So that's all I got. You know, fixing things is part of your, you know, homesteading skills that you have to get into. Just the other day, my saw blade was getting real dull, and I was in the past, a saw blade would last me 2 or 3 years before it would get dull, because I didn't do a whole lot of chainsawing. And so I would just buy a new chain, like 25 bucks. Well, now that I'm out here, and I showed you earlier all the clearing I'm doing, I'm using my chainsaw a whole lot more. So I broke down and spent, I think it was $28 for a chainsaw sharpening kit, and sharpened my own chain. And you know what? It works just fine. So I'm now able to sharpen chains. So, you know, most of us at Homestead, we don't come out here with knowing all the skills we need to know, but we do try to learn them as we go along, because we will probably need them later. So that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed the video. Tomorrow I hope to be out, maybe do some more clearing, maybe clearing up some of this brush and get things moved around, getting ready for the growing season. I don't know if we're going to get a vegetable garden in this year, but our plans are to plant elderberry bushes / trees and blackberry bushes this year, and maybe get a garden ready for either this fall or next year. So anyhow, that's all I got for now. Stay safe and stay secure.